Hi, this is Mari with Greenland Ways, and I'm sitting here in Drake Park in Bend, Oregon on Muir Pond at my winter sit spot that I chose. I chose this about a couple weeks ago, sitting here and realized that I needed a spot that I could get to on foot because we've been getting a lot of snow and ice and such, and I didn't want to have to drive anywhere. So I chose this spot here on Muir Pond as my winter sit spot. And the day I chose it, the pond was completely clear of ice, and there was muskrat. There was a muskrat coming up close to the shore with a little entry near me into some underground area. And today it's very, very different, as you can see. It's iced over, and it's probably maybe in the 20s today. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't check before I came, but I know it's not much over that, and the wind is pretty chilly. So I got here around, actually 12:34 is when I started my observation. And my observation will be a little bit shorter today because it is so cold. And I'm also doing this video for you guys to talk a little bit about sit spot. So I'm just going to check to see if my video is still going. It is. Wonderful. Okay, so a sit spot is a naturalist practice. Naturalists are people who study nature and observe nature, appreciate nature, and sit spot is a particular practice that takes you to one particular spot on a regular basis where you sit and you observe. And usually in the past, my sit spots have all been places that are a little tucked out of the way. I really like that, little off the beaten path kind of places in parks and in the natural areas near where I live. It's great to have a sit spot that's really close to you and that it's easy enough to get to. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I had to choose a winter sit spot with a little bit of a different focus. And so as crazy it is to come to one of our busiest parks here in Bend for sit spot, it is also an incredible place to observe nature. And I wanted to emphasize that you don't have to have a super wild spot to do sit spot. It's great if you can get a chance to do that. But you can have a sit spot on your own deck, in your own backyard, if you have places like that. And the point is to really just begin to get to know a particular area better, to settle in and really pay attention to what will be around you. I've had the most amazing experiences, and the mysteries of nature and all of our denizens really come to life when you do a sit spot. It's one of my favorite practices, and I want to encourage anyone to, that this sounds kind of fun and interesting too, to go ahead and give it a try. You can do a lot of different things. You can just sit and observe. Sometimes I sit and observe and I write. So I write my observations as I sit. Some days I just sit quietly and very still, and it's amazing what can happen around you when you're doing that. You kind of become part of the landscape and nature starts coming in a lot closer. And then I'll usually write afterwards. So I do it a few different ways. Today I was writing as I was doing my observation, partly because I'm not going to sit here for very long since it is so cold. I like to sit in my sit spots for at least 10 to 15 minutes, usually longer. I prefer a half hour to 45 minutes, but you can give yourself a stretch of whatever time works for you, even if you've just got 5 minutes to sort of sit down and settle in and observe an area. That in itself can reveal a lot to you. The longer you have, of course, the more you're likely to see, and the more you just get the benefit of just being out there as well. Sit spots is great for getting to know nature in your area better, but it's also great for, it's kind of a meditation. It's great for relaxing, and you get that benefit that you always get when you sit out in nature and just let its energy sort of soak into you. So it's definitely got a lot of different benefits. So yeah, so anywhere from 5 to 45 minutes or longer on summer days. Sometimes I'll linger for a lot longer. Sometimes I'll do sketching and stuff after I've done my main observation time. It isn't important if you can't identify things at that time either. You can always make sketches, or do just write down some notes about what you're seeing, and you can look it up later. You don't have to be able to identify the things around you to be able to really enjoy and learn about it. You can make up your own names if you want, but if you want to go more with the naturalist side of it and you want to learn a little bit more about nature, you can definitely learn to identify the trees and the plants and the animals and the birds around you. You can make notes about the days, like if it's a rainy day or if it's an overcast day. You can keep track of things like that, and just do the part that you really are pulled to and the part that really excites you. So go ahead and give it a try, and I'd love to hear about where you do a sit spot, and don't let winter keep you from getting out and doing sit spots as well. Alright, so Nature Connection blessings to all of you, and I will talk to you again next time.